Winner in race one, how does that feel?
Good, very good, very good. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it was a bit sketchy, the conditions were, but it was, Adam had a mechanical failure which handed it really to me, and then it was just managing the race really, but I was just trying to stay with Division 1 and keep that gap really as much as I could, so I could keep ahead, because it's hard when you haven't got a marker, it's hard to keep the pace.
I mean, the track was damp, not particularly wet. How did that change your approach to the circuit itself?
Yeah, basically just cautious. Probably braking a bit too early, especially into the chicane. It was very. Sometimes it changed from lap to lap. So we had a bit of rain come back, then it went again. I think there was something down as well, but no, it was great. It was blooming.
Now back at the grid for race number 2.
Yes, that's it. Now we've got the hard work. Yeah, hard work now. I enjoy it. To be fair, I enjoy the chase. So no, God, it will be. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, Ryan Smith said Division 1 is really competitive this year. Feel the same about Division 2?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it'd be nice if some more people were out, but it is what it is in the current situation. But no, I'm chuffed to be where I am. It's took me a few years to get here, so yeah, great.
Craig, well done. Good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Cheers.
Simon Cole, not the best start to the season at Brands Hatch, but you're holding silverware now.
Yeah, we had a nightmare at Brands. We put a brand new engine in it, and it just let itself go. We tried to rebuild it overnight, and it was down to a 40 piston we've been supplied. Went and got another engine off of Terry Gibbon, got it in there. We still had teething problems this weekend. It was running rough in free practice, rough in qualifying, poor qualifying on our standards, but yeah, I'm over the moon with third.
And what do you do now ahead of the rest of the weekend? Do you feel like your season started now?
Yeah, it needs to now. A lot of catching up to do with the other boys, and do a bit of work on the truck and just try and nurse her through. She needs to finish first, really. The podiums are a welcome extra.
And do you reckon go to the next step, second? Can you get a win this week?
Hopefully. I've won here before, many moons ago, but I've won here before, so it's in us. We was reeling Steve Powell in there. One more lap, I think we would have had second, but yeah, let's see how we go. Get the truck set up for the last race.
Best of luck for the race 2 and the
Division
rest of the
2 grid
Thank
as well,
you very
by the way.
much,
It's
thank
Adam Bint on pole position in that one, with Craig Evans in the number 10 alongside him. Then we have Bradley Smith in the number 46, with Jock Borthwick in the 32, Simon Cole behind them in 41, ahead of Stephen Powell, which is number 3, and then we have Craig Reed, number 68, rounding out this phenomenal grid, as we already have Ryan Smith cutting the final chicane, maybe not so necessarily on just the lap round to the grid.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be an interesting sight for the spectators here. And, of course, the spectators at home watching on Bart Live on YouTube and Facebook as well. Welcome to you guys at home. In fact, one of the teams that will be watching is the Unity Recovery and Midland Truck Breakers truck of Brad Smith that couldn't make it with us this weekend. A massive happy 18th birthday to, of course, Keris, who is the daughter of one of the main sponsors there. So a hello to you and a sorry you can't be here. But as we actually look here, we've got a copy of the live feed and a wonderful image as we look down onto the circuit and see all these wonderfully cleaned trucks. Of course, they've had a quick spruce up over the lunch break and they are ready to close the day with some heavy machinery action.
Pointy, I've got to say, from up here, I'm looking down from the old roster, I'm looking down onto the grid. They're all looking spick and span again, like you said. But I just spotted Binty's on pole position, isn't he? So, although it didn't go his way in the first race, it could have paid off for him in this second one.
Indeed, yeah. So finishing that lap behind is obviously giving him a footing for what could hopefully be a successful second race of the weekend. Again, a few technical difficulties that they managed, and again, shout out to the team, not the driver. They managed to sort that out over the time this afternoon, and fingers crossed he can make it stick. We've obviously seen that he can get the results with his performance at Brands Hatch earlier on in the season a few weeks ago. So the truck is there, and again, of course, Simon Cole now having no luck whatsoever, unfortunately, at Brands Hatch with his truck letting him down. Can he make a repeat performance of what we saw from him this morning?
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, you've got a lot of these drivers that sort of they have something to make up for with earlier performances and different races and all sorts. So some of them out there to get a little bit of vengeance as this goes on. But yes, we have a very well shaped final race of the day. Don't forget, we do have 2 races from them tomorrow. Now, talk to me, Pointy. The grids for that tomorrow, they are based on the
Well,
results.
of course, so the reverse grid continues from today, so they will be a reverse of the results from this evening's race.
Like
So qualifying sets the day up with the fastest lap obviously starting in pole position, and then from there on out it's a reverse of the results from the previous race. Now, obviously, depending on things like track limits or disqualifications or limitations to timings, we might see a change of those results, which of course we'll see on the TSL website updated by Bark as and when. So what we see finish this evening might not necessarily be reflected with the starting grid tomorrow morning. But of course, with 3 races to get through tomorrow and what looks like to be quite a decent day now, the weather's completely changed its mind on the forecast, we could be in for a fantastic bit of weekend racing here.
Oh, definitely. And like you say, 3 races tomorrow, not just the 2. So plenty still coming our way. 5 races in a weekend is phenomenal, to be fair. I mean, I did obviously, I know I keep going on about the European Truck Racing.
Well, guys,
but
we're just looking down on the grid. There's quite a bit of activity going on around the number 11 truck, that of Gibbo. I'm not sure what they're all looking at, but there's a lot of people out there, and it looks like we're going to move a truck off the grid, which the barriers are being moved here at the minute. Now, whether that's the case or not, I'm not sure. Let's have a little look and see what happens. But everybody seems fairly comfortable down there on the grid at the moment.
Except him.
In fact, they're all walking away from Gibbo's truck now, so I guess...
Maybe minds have been changed.
Unless they're moving everybody away.
Something's going on. We're going to get a truck off the grid, and I'm not sure which one it is yet.
I'm wondering whether they
But it
move
would appear
everybody
to me, looking at this, that the 2 guys on the front row are going to be the ones that cause the traffic jam behind, because the 5 behind were all in the hunt earlier on, and it's Gibbo that's coming off the track.
Yeah,
Gibbo in trouble. That's a great shame for the pole sitter from the earlier race.
Yeah, I was wondering whether they would move everybody else, leave him stationary and just sort of wave them around him and then move him, but yeah, they're doing it first. They've moved O'Rourke forwards.
You're not going to believe this. I'm not sure if this is a penalty or what, but he's done a complete lap of the circuit with no cap on his diesel tank and spilt diesel all the way around.
Oh, no.
I'll try and find out whether this is a penalty or whether it's a problem. I guess if they've got no diesel cap, if they've lost it, then it's not the sort of thing you'd probably have a spare one of those readily handy.
Well, I'm sure the pit crew for the GT number 11 will be running frantically now back to the paddock trailer to see if they have got a replacement. We can see down from the crow's nest that there's lots of action, lots of people. They do appear to be rolling him out of the way. I suppose a track inspection will now soon be underway to make sure that there isn't any unwanted fluids on the track.
The report is it's through Church mainly down that end, so you'll see that from your...
Of course, yeah.
It had to be, didn't it?
Yeah, quite a severe camber and a bend around there, so...
Now, I'm assuming he's off the grid, that's so we can get the race started. I'm assuming someone's running back to try and find one or whatever, and he may well be able to join, but he's certainly not on the grid now, and that has moved Smithy up. So Ryan Smith has now moved up onto the 3rd row.
Yes, they've just shimmied the number 69 truck to the right-hand side, of course, with David Jenkins at the wheel, and Ryan Smith has then taken the place on the left-hand side of the grid now, so a little bit of shuffling, and to be fair, to do that with trucks is quite impressive in such quick fashion.
They've done well. We see the 30-second board now coming out from the grid line, and just a quick reminder before they do get underway, of course, not to forget lovely show trucks.
Pace truck is rolling as well, Pointy.
Lovely, the pace truck rolls out. That's Stuart Oliver's new very tidy primer grey truck. A lot of grey vehicles around nowadays. It seems like that. Of course, Jock Borthwick getting a bit of stick from his grey primer look in the previous race, which is why I spoke to him earlier on in the paddock, and he says he has gone for a new paint job. So it's the same truck, new paint job. But again, still on the subject of paint jobs, just quickly, don't forget to head over to the show trucks and use the QR code to take part in the Convoy on the Plane public vote. These will be awarded tomorrow, so if you are on your way home this evening, do pop and have a look and do that vote online with the QR code. So trucks on their outlap now, just getting a bit of heat into the tyres, reminding themselves where all the bends and cambers and curbs are. Of course, disappearing into the distance here, even though we've got a pretty clear view, it still gets quite far away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed, yeah. especially when there's diesel down at Church as well. They're going to find out where that is quite soon enough, I imagine, but hopefully it's not too bad down there. I mean, these things cover a lot of real estate. There's a big contact patch, so I imagine it might not affect them as much as it would a normal racing car, for example.
Sorry to interrupt you
Go
guys,
on.
but they've cut the motor on Gibbo's truck. It would appear that the diesel spillage, they're wiping diesel off the motor all over the place, so it's obviously come out all over the back of the truck.
Well, there's a lot of vibration, of course, when these things are rolling around. So if it has had the opportunity to slosh around and come out, then it's obviously done that. And what an absolute shame it is for Martin Gibson. We're really pulling some fantastic moves in the last few races. This early start to the season, he showed some great consistency and fantastic skill. But what a shame for something so simple to take him out of this last race of the Saturday. I'm sure there'll be some stern words from people back in the pit crew once all this is said and done. But we see the trucks now making their way around Village and Church. Hopefully they won't be picking up any of that spillage on the way through. We don't see any drastic manoeuvres to avoid anything, so hopefully it's not as bad as it could be. The pace truck now just coming down out of Church into Brooklands as they make their way up to what of course will be a rolling start. A lot of people ask why we do the rolling start with these, and that's because there's so much torque in the gearboxes that if we were to do a standstill start, it puts so much strain on the gearbox and the diff that they really don't last very long. Hence why pulling away and accelerating from a moving pace is actually a lot faster and a lot smoother.
Pointy, the other thing I think, as well, is if one of these stalls in the middle of the grid, mate, you've got some carnage to clear
We
up.
have. Not long ago, actually, we witnessed that when someone accidentally tapped the brakes on the first lap as opposed to the accelerator. But here they come now. Mark Taylor down for Tom O'Rourke, down for Stuart Oliver, John Newell, 69, Dave Jenkins, as the lights go out and they are racing, all powering on. We've got Tom O'Rourke making an early start, John Newell up the side of Mark Taylor. Can he make it stay? Stuart Oliver looking for a gap past John Newell on the inside as they make their way into Campbell. Division 2, Adam Bint making an early pull away with Jock Borthwick right on his tail. Craig Reed bringing up the rear. Oh, we've had contact. It looks like
O'Rourke is
it's one of the black trucks. Is that
O'Rourke
Jenkins?
and Mark Taylor, perhaps. I saw Mark Taylor definitely spinning out there, unfortunately. Looks like someone might have caught his tail end.
I think we're all clear though, aren't we?
I can't see any
between
flags
the
at the
buildings.
moment.
I can't see anybody left there.
Yeah, I think O'Rourke might have been the one that actually got away and survived all that, you know. I think maybe it all happened behind him, although by the look of it, it's the truck in fourth place. I think it is O'Rourke, which has actually had the right rear mudguard lifted. So yes, it is definitely O'Rourke. We're just looking at it on the feed here. But to me as well, I've already fallen in love with Ryan Smith's driving style. There is the contact.
Oh yes, we see Tom O'Rourke going very badly into the back of Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor spinning out 360 degrees. Stuart Oliver and Dave Jenkins just onto the grass to avoid that. Dave Jenkins cutting the corner. Ryan Smith keeping his track, understanding his little telling off he had earlier on in qualifying. But luckily, thank goodness, all the trucks are back on the track. Yes, quite a shuffle of the running order, but at least we've had no flags and we are still racing as we see Stuart Oliver now powering through into the club chicane here as he comes back onto the complex. Ryan Smith all over the back of Dave Jenkins as they cut the corner. Tom O'Rourke in the 86, closely followed strangely by Adam Bint, who's now taken a place away from Mark Taylor.
Now, one of the trucks that really lost out in all that melee was actually John Newell. He really slammed on not to hit O'Rourke, did catch him as Taylor goes back down the inside of Bint into turn one. Now, I just want to highlight, as I was going to say there, I fell in love with Ryan Smith's driving style this weekend because he chucks it over the curbs, he tries every little trick in the book, he really hung back at the chicane to get a massive run on everybody by the time the lights went out, but
Taylor,
unfortunately he actually got held up.
Taylor gets back in front of Bint as they go into the complex, so starting to make his move again now, Mark Taylor, after that first lap excursion.
He did indeed.
Still incredible driving skill, really, to be able to be knocked out and completely spun round, and Mark Taylor managing to get back on. Ryan Smith, though, we can see just in the distance all over the back of Dave Jenkins, but Dave Jenkins showing his experience, keeping that door well and truly shut. But how long will it take for Ryan Smith to see that opportunity to come down the inside of Dave Jenkins? It'll be interesting to see who gets back to us here at the tower to finish off this next lap.
I thought you were going to call him Dave Judy Dench then.
Yeah, Dave Jenkins is an interesting play on the road. As we see them coming out now, though, we've still got Stuart Oliver a couple of seconds ahead. Dave Jenkins holding back Ryan Smith nicely. A little bit further back, quite a bit further back actually. I'd pull that about 4 or 5 seconds behind. We've got Tom O'Rourke followed by Mark Taylor followed by John Newell to put the Division 1s back in order. Coming
Smith
slightly wide, Ryan Smith up the inside, coming down the complex. Dave Jenkins just has to let him go past as he shuts the door in front of Dave Jenkins. Ryan Smith, a beautifully smooth manoeuvre. And now we've got
sorry, number 3 coming through, Stephen Powell saying, I don't like that tyre bale bin there, let's move it about 4 feet, but he's actually put it more over towards the apex of the corner now.
Which we'll probably see what happens with that on the next time round. John, back over to you. What's happening over there by Campbell?
Can't really see a lot. I think everybody's through there safely. I was just watching the Group 2s. They went through, and there was likely to be a change there because I got a feeling. Was that Jock Borthwick leading them at the moment? You can tell I haven't got a screen in front of me.
Yes, it was indeed Jock Borthwick just ahead.
So he'll be happy if he can hang in there, but I think he was about to come under some pressure.
Well, maybe the new paint job has bought him some speed and aerodynamics. So he could definitely do with the win. I'd like to see him on the podium this weekend. Of course, I'd like to see all the drivers on the podium because it's a pleasure to hand out these trophies to these guys. Because, of course, whatever happens on the track, it is still all friends and family when we get back to the paddock after these race events. They are all top guys.
I've only just noticed your hat and shirt. I thought it was GT.
Oh, let's not talk about that on air.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, corporate would not thank you for bringing it up. Let's put it like that.
Oh, he's wearing a corporate branded shirt.
That's fine. Yeah, lovely. Stuart Oliver now, the gap closing ever smaller as Ryan Smith looks for a gap pass, but closely followed by Dave Jenkins. Looking at the inside as they come around Allard. What's going to happen here? Right on his tail. Back now, we've got Tom O'Rourke, very, very closely followed by Mark Taylor, trying to find that space back. John Newell hoping that he can try and reclaim some of those spaces he lost earlier on. Interesting theme this weekend of the Division 2s managing to get right out in front and hold on to the back of Division 1 almost, as we see Adam Bin tailing the bottom 3 of Division 1.
Yeah, there really isn't that much of a performance gap visually for us right now, which is beautiful to see. It's almost like we had with the Caterhams before, the Sigmaxes and the 135s. They were mixing amongst one another, and they're the biggest division in terms of the two classes. So
it's nice to see a pack coming around the track, yeah.
Oh, just having a go there. It was Smith just trying it, but not quite able to do it yet. And of course, Stuart Oliver knows what he's doing by now. So does Ryan Smith. They're both very, very close together. Smith just hanging off him. It's almost tandem drift style. He's just hanging off his door that little bit, just poking his nose down the inside to put the pressure on. But all that time, you cannot forget that we have that 69 ex-Jochen Hahn truck of David Jenkins waiting in the wings to pounce.
One thing that you can of course deal with when you're in this battle for first place is you're under attack, you're driving defensively, your lap time starts to suffer, the stress starts to go. Well, we see Ryan Smith now looking for the outside line coming through Brooklands. Will he make it stick as we come up to the club chicane? No, Stuart Oliver back round, looking for the gap as they head into the chicane. So tight, any kind of mistake. We've hit the tyre wall. Dave Jenkins there just nipping those tyres. They all make it through. Still Stuart Oliver. Ryan
Smith on the charge as they come across the line, but Oliver shuts the door on him.
Wow.
Very close
Big pull across the track. It was indeed very close indeed here.
I was just watching Ryan Smith's arms then.
Adam Bin, Division 2 taking John Newell coming out of Club Chicane. John Newell must have some kind of technical difficulties for Adam Bin to be coming past him. Steve Powell in Division 2. We've then got Craig Reed, followed by Jock Borthwick, who slipped back a couple of paces. And of course Simon Cole, unfortunately losing his pace in this race. We've got then of course Bradley Smith and Craig Evans at the back.
Yeah, Newell definitely had a problem there as he came out the final chicane. But what I was going to mention was that the big change at the front there could have potentially happened with Smith diving over to the right-hand side to go to the pit wall. But in all honesty, it's just the massive run that he got on the back of the number 7 machine did not work out for him.
Need to keep your eye on Dave Jenks, I think, in third, because a couple of times in the complex, the previous lap and this lap, closed them right in again. He's just waiting for a little mistake and he'll be up there into the gap.
Staying with the back of the top two can give an opportunity for these two to come together or have a little falling out, and of course giving Dave Jenkins in a poised position to just jump straight through. Coming down now to Brookfields, we've got we've got Ryan Smith all over the side of Stuart Oliver. Dave Jenkins still sticking with the pack. How are they going to come through club? What moves are they going to make? It's so close. It really is difficult to tell. Will Ryan Smith try to make that inside move coming down of Allard? He looks for the inside. Stuart Oliver comes across. Will he make it stick? Yes, Ryan Smith takes the first place as they come into Campbell. Fantastic bit of driving there. It took him a couple of laps, but he made it stick eventually, Chaz.
He persevered with it. I've been watching him every time. I've been watching him particularly, not just the truck, but him in the cockpit of that truck when he comes around here. He's got these reflective strips on his arms and bright yellow gloves. It looks like a fireman wheeling a fire truck around the final
I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
Oh yeah, but honestly, he's just absolutely wrangling that thing around here. It's great to see, and when you see the body language of not just the trucks but the drivers as well, it's awesome.
They've let Gibbo back out onto the track this late in the race, so he's just going out of pit lane now.
Maybe they just fancy spicing it up by putting some more diesel down.
Perhaps so, but obviously we've now replaced the diesel cat, which is fantastic to see that he is still going to get some race time. Obviously some points is better than no points. The DNF looked very bad on the record for the season, so of course this will help him at least retain some kind of score. But yeah, I mean, it's such a shame again to have him out for so long of the race. We've just 5.5 minutes left to go of this race. Yes, it's unfortunately it's going to be very, very difficult for Martin Gibson to make any kind of... Whoa, we've got a lot of smoke coming out of the back of someone at the far side, just out of Goodwood.
I thought the Red Arrows were making an appearance.
There is a huge amount of smoke. I am wondering whether that is a fire or whether that is possibly, well, looking very white smoke. It could be a turbo seal, perhaps, burning a lot of oil. Are we going to see any flags as we see Ryan Smith now coming back out to the last chicane?
It's one of the white trucks, guys, that's gone missing.
Let's have a look which white trucks we have come back round. Well, we've still got O'Rourke and Taylor.
It's Jock.
It's got to be Jock, yeah. Jock Borthwick having some very smoky issues. He's pulled over. We'll soon see whether or not he's in a safe enough position to carry on the race. We have a door open. I think the amount of smoke, if he's going to get out, they are going to have to red flag the race.
Yeah.
So if he does leave the cab, still lots of battling going on though, of course, with Division 1, with Tom O'Rourke holding back Mark Taylor and John Newell. Some interesting racing from these guys, as now we see Martin Gibson quickly catching up with Simon Cole and looking for Bradley Smith next on his first lap of the second race today. Quite a group of marshals now gathering down the side of Church. Jock Borthwick is officially out of the truck and walking across the grass. It's quite a long way away, that is, so I'm not sure whether he's waiting for a lift.
He's on the infield.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. He's obviously going to be extremely upset. But of course, has anybody noticed that he's out? This is an issue, of course. Is he in a runoff area where he could come to any harm? Again, still no flags on the circuit, so all must be good.
Yeah, I think where he's parked it, he's very far on the infield there, so I don't think they see it as too much of a problem at the moment. But whatever it was that was causing the smoke, he ran out of it because eventually the smoke
You're not very
stopped.
optimistic, are you? There's no flags around the circuit.
There's no flags around the circuit. I mean, it's looking
Is this
good.
truck racing?
Yeah, I know what's going on. Usually we'd have something on fire by now. I mean, I'm quite disappointed if I'm honest. Ryan Smith pulling ahead very nicely now as he seems to settle it into his groove. But the battle for second place continues with Dave Jenkins all over the back end of Stuart Oliver again in his number 7 Volvo Bullnose. Down into club again now, we've got Tom O'Rourke still holding his position in overall 4th. Mark Taylor, John Newell, Adam Bint though still very, very good at the moment. Steve Powell rearranging the tyre wall again. That is now officially on the track. So we will probably it'll certainly make the chicane a hell of a lot tighter than it was already.
There's 2 lines through it now.
Indeed, Bradley Smith coming through there with Martin Gibson, so no room to pass him on the inside or the outside. Martin Gibson comes into contact, throwing those tyres even further in. Simon Cole managing to miss the tyres. This could cause an issue when we see Stuart Oliver and Dave Jenkins come back through.
Yeah, Cole had an issue there changing gear for a second. He really spiked the revs, but yeah, that tyre stack has not just, it didn't just sort of open up the second apex of the corner, now it's just made the entire thing narrower, but at least there's 2 lines around it now. It's almost like a Joker lap.
I'd like to pat on the back whoever actually made that, because it's been hit by several tons of truck now and it's still in one piece.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm terribly impressed. Looking at the lap times now with just 2 minutes left of the race, Smith now pulling a 2.5 second faster lap time away. Obviously he's got clean air and no traffic, but very, very close together. We just
Red flags, guys, red flags.
Red flags. We've got the red flags. Can we see why we've got the red flags though? Ryan Smith hitting the tyre wall. We
Ryan
see
Smith has
Stuart
just
Oliver,
demonstrated
he
why.
misses the tyres, so does Dave Jenkins. But have the scrutineers or the clerk of the course pulled that red flag for those tyres, or is there another reason that we've not seen as yet?
I can't see anything from here, Pointy, so I'm assuming it's your
tyre
bales in the
stack.
track. Yeah.
Well, judging by the results we've got so far, yeah,
Taylor's
that's
just,
it. Mark Taylor has completely KO'd over the tyre wall. We have what looks to be the front left wheel off the floor. We've also got fluids, we've got liquids. I do believe he's bossed his radiator. We've got a traffic jam coming out now of club. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
He just drove into it.
Absolutely. I mean, someone needs to tell Mark to get into the pits. Whatever that has been dropped, I hope it's just water.
Yeah, he's
But
put a lot of liquid down.
trailing a lot. We see now a snail pace of trucks coming through a steaming puddle of whatever Mark Taylor left on the exit to Church.
Is that his talent down there?
Shots fired, Chaz. Come on now. So we have 2 minutes left of the race. The question is now, of course, will we have a restart, or will it just go to as the results settle?
I think Cole's just stopped to take a
I'm
pit.
pretty sure that'll be it, Pointy.
Yeah, so Cole is
2
also
minutes left
rolling
to
back
go.
here. I think Cole might have lost drive for some reason.
There's liquid
I think they're
underneath
going
his
round
truck as
again
well.
very slowly, just doing a bit of a celebration for the spectators at the moment. So
We've got a lot of liquid here.
Cole
underneath
has
Cole's
also
truck as well.
stopped and is also having an issue on the exit to Church. We have stopped Craig Evans, but Simon Cole seems to be blocking the track at the moment.
Now, don't forget, sorry to cut
Go
over
on,
you,
go
but
on.
don't forget he had issues. You can see whatever it is dripping
Yeah.
underneath the truck from here, but he had issues getting it into gear a lap or so ago.
he got going again though, guys, as he came out of there. So I think it was only a gear change problem with you and the bales.
He has now started but left quite the puddle on the track. Thank goodness this is the last race of the day, because I believe there is going to be a lot of cleaning to do before we have any more racing here at Thruxton this weekend. So we have, the timer has gone to 0, with Smith, Oliver and Jenkins taking the top 3 in Division 1, Bint, Powell and Craig Reed the top 3 for Division 2. If you're watching the live feed at home, we can see here a replay of Mark Taylor coming round and completely head on trashing into that tyre bale and instantly puncturing his radiator. Thus now, of course, the spectators here at Thruxton can see quite the lake of whatever it is he's left on the track. Dave Jenkins, Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver now slowly making their way round. It'll be really important that they try and avoid whatever's on the track, because of course they don't want to get anything on their tyres either.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it gives Ryan Smith more excuse to cut that curve completely again, doesn't it?
Well, he does like that bit, yeah.
I'm down in the assembly area, guys. Give me the result if you've got one, and I'll see
So
if I
as
can
it
pick some drivers
stands,
out.
as it stands, we've got Ryan Smith in first place, Stuart Oliver in second, Dave Jenkins in third, overall Tom O'Rourke in fourth, Taylor in fifth, and John Newell in sixth. Division 2, we've got Adam Bint in first place, Stephen Powell in second, Craig Reed in third. We've then got Bradley Smith, Simon Cole, Craig Evans, Jack Borthwick, and of course dead last, finishing or starting the race late, is of course Martin Gibson. Quite a bit of action to be seen here at Thruxton Circuit for the last race of Saturday. I'm going to hand you back over to John now down in the Parc Ferme, whilst I make my way back to try and figure out who to hand some silverware to.
Ryan Smith's just come in. Simon Cole's out of the truck, not looking too happy at the moment. So we're going to work with Ryan. We've got our top 3 in Division 1 coming in down here. So we'll get a quick chat with them in a moment. Chaz, just let's get things lined up. Everybody a little bit disgruntled down here, and things changing around. Smithy's got the door open. I'll walk over there, give him a chance to get his helmet off. just talking to his team at the moment, taking the helmet off. He'll be out of the truck in a second or two, I'm sure. Stuart Oliver's there doing exactly the same in the second truck just behind, so we'll get a word with them once they jump out of the truck. Come on, Ryan, how'd you get? Long way down from up there, mate. Well done, 2 out of 2, but that was a bit different.
That was for the crowd. The crowd's been here all day long, you know. I hope they enjoyed that one. Martin went off with Diesel, so we knew Diesel were down. We just thought, be patient, you know, and bring it home. Yeah, fantastic. Really enjoyed that. I hope the crowd enjoyed it. And come on, England!
Well, I guess I know what you'll be doing tonight then.
Yeah, we've got to stick with his country, haven't we? Even if we don't like football, but, you know, looking forward to a good day tomorrow. My team's worked tirelessly. You know, the guys who I'm racing against, you know, put good effort in, and we try and put a show on for the people. And I'll be riding around there later on, talking to some drunken people.
Well, 2 wins out of 2 today. That's more points in the championship tally, which means you're opening up the little gap at the top now.
Well, that's what we said. This is a transition period to get us to Europe. What an amazing championship we're in here. And, you know, we've got some fantastic drivers, and we just keep striding to new depths and see what we can do.
Well done indeed. Congratulations. Talk to you tomorrow, Ryan. And I've got wide man Oliver with me. Stuart, you're making that truck pretty wide.
Yeah, it just wasn't wide enough. But no, credit to Ryan. You know, he put the truck where he needed to be to get up the inside, and you know he has got tremendous grip, and you know he just came through at a point where I just couldn't defend it. So you know, fair play. But I enjoyed that because you know Dave was nibbling at my heels as well. So I had to keep him at bay and trying to make up on Ryan. You know, at least try and keep with him.
Got a bit close to the pit wall on one lap. You pulled across the circuit. Dave was having a little go here and there, and it looked pretty tight.
Yeah, well, that's right. You give him a no. You had about 1.5 inches spare, I reckon. That was enough.
Well, you've come home, all of you have come home in fairly clean shape. A bit of a different race, though. Red flag at the end due to those bales down there, and 1 or 2 drivers going off, so probably the right result.
Yeah, it was. The bales were in a bad place, without a doubt, but it was a shame. You know, it's nice to go to the checkered flag, but I think we're about 2 minutes short of the finish. But, yeah, it was... you know, for the people that's here, they always want to see as much racing as possible, but tomorrow is another day. Indeed,
and I'm told the weather forecast is good now.
Oh, excellent, yeah. Well, we just need a good result tonight on the pitch, and we'll be able to have a good day again tomorrow.
With an accent like that, I thought you went out a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
No, I'm south of the border, thank you.
Well done, Stuart. See you tomorrow, if not later on. Now, Dave Jenks has wandered away, but Adam Bint's still here. So let's get a word with Adam. Adam, first in Division 2, you must be happy now.
Yeah, it was a good race. We was giving the boys in Division 1 a bit of a run for their money, but they kept backing off to try and not get involved. But in the end, I was trying to have to do something because I could see the rest of Division 2 in the background coming up behind us.
Well, Chock was giving you a run for the money at one stage.
I didn't even see him, if I'm honest with you. I was too concentrating on
I think he was in front of you at one stage. Yeah. Was he not?
No, it was Tom.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it must have been Tom then. But so was you sandbagging earlier on because you had a problem with the truck, and then that put you on pole
in Park Fermo with Ryan Smith. 2 out of 2. That was sensational.
It was good. I bet it felt good, so I bet it looked good to watch. But no, I got a sweat on in the cab. It was quite warm. I'd seen that somebody put diesel on the track, and there were chaos after the first lap, and I thought, wait now. And we dealt with Dave. We come on to Stuart. And Stuart's, you know, he's a seasoned pro at defending, and yeah, we had a good race. Even not about the result, the race was good, and I think the fans liked it. They was all waving on the after the finish. So I think it was a good race for spectators. Stuart was good on the brakes in places, and I thought, right, okay, well, if we're not doing you on the brakes, we'll do you on the exit.
I mean, there were so many talking points. First of all, Gibbo leaving the track before the start, taking advantage of the spin between the 2 guys in first and second place. That put you up to sort of 4th automatically. And the race between you and Stuart was about 5 or 6 laps. You were about 6 inches from his rear bumper.
It's a common thing now. This is the beauty with the reverse grid format. You know, I start from the back, I pick my way through. We ain't got a big budget, so we want the least amount of damage. So, you know, that's what we base ourselves on, trying to be clean, trying to be correct, trying to show other people respect, and so on and so forth.
Little Ethan got your trophy this morning. Who's getting this one?
I'm going to give it the UFI managing UK directors here. They've supported me. UFI have supported me amazingly well. So the trophy will go on Carl Riddin's desk, and he'll enjoy that one.
If you go 5 out of 5, can I have one?
I think this man will argue I won't be 5 out of 5, but if I get 5 out of 5, I'll give you one.
Right, congratulations.
Thank
See
you,
tomorrow.
sir. Thank you.
Going to move straight on to Stuart Oliver, if that's okay. Just brilliant entertainment. 1,500 fans here today. Save the best to last.
Yeah, that was good. That it's credit to Ryan. He had the legs on us at the right place. I could defend him. I could defend him all the way around, but coming out of there, you cannot get through and over to do a defence. And last thing you want to do is go at the pit wall. So you can squeeze, but you can't block. So
how aware were you of what was happening to Gibbo?
None whatsoever, other than they said he was pulled off the grid because his cap was gone, and he told us on the radio, and that was a shame because he would have been mixed among right among it. So, but I think he did get out in the end. So hopefully he bagged a few points, which is not because this championship. If you have a DNF, it takes a lot of
making
up.
He came out with 5 minutes to go to grab those points. So a 4th and a 2nd today for yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a good day?
It's reasonable. Yeah, it's reasonable. We're still up in among it there. Obviously Ryan's had 2 wins, so that makes him limp ahead, jump ahead a bit, but tomorrow's another day. We'll see what we can do and go from there.
What do you do overnight to try and catch him tomorrow?
Watch the football. No, we've got a bit of sort of a few things that we've got to look at things, and it was very, very bumpy, and sort of this morning in qualifying the truck was completely different to what it is there now, and we haven't done a lot of changes, if any at all. So
Stuart, appreciate your time.
Good stuff.
Have a good rest of the night. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'd love to find Adam Bint. I can see his truck down there. Should we go for a little walk and see if we can get hold of Adam? Maybe just go, mind your feet. Plenty of oil on the track. Or the black and orange one.